but they build everything in Germany and then they assemble it here. They get away with murder because they say, oh yes, we're building cars. They don't build cars. They take them out of a box and they assemble them. We could have our child do it.
I challenge you, Trump, to one full 12-hour day in any auto assembly plant. I want to see you assemble parts out of a box for 12 hours.
So a UAW auto worker has officially challenged Donald Trump to hop up on the assembly line after he belittled their work during his interview at the Economic Club in Chicago. During the interview with Bloomberg Editor-in-Chief John Micklethwait, Trump got on the topic of how cars are not actually being built in the United States, and he also wanted to talk about his tariff plans. Let's take a look.
I said to Angela Merkel when she was there, she's not there anymore, I wonder why, but when she was there, I said, Angela, how many Chevrolets do we have in Berlin? Why, Donald, you have none. He said, that's right. How many Fords do we have in Frankfurt? I don't know, none. I said, that's right. You know how many cars we have? Mercedes-Benz, BMW, all of the different Volkswagen, millions and millions of cars. And then I said farm products. You know, they don't want our farm. They don't want anything from us. We have deficits that are crazy. And we're not going to have them anymore. We're going to put tariffs on them, and they're going to do, and you know what they can do? The Mercedes-Benz will start building in the United States. And they have a little bit. But you know what they really are? Assembly, like in South Carolina. But they build everything in Germany, and then they assemble it here. They get away with murder because they say, oh, yes, we're building cars. They don't build cars. They take them out of a box and they assemble them. We could have our child do it.
Yeah, so that's kind of the crux of Trump's proposed tariff plan, that, you know, he's going to jack up these tariffs so high that all these international companies, it's going to be way too expensive for them to ship anything over here. So they're just going to set up shop here in the United States and just make everything here in the United States, even though Mercedes-Benz is, everyone knows that's a German company. They're not moving over here. Anyway, it didn't take long for the Kamala Harris campaign to use this in their next attack against Trump. And they tweeted this earlier this week, said Trump belittles auto workers, saying they just assemble parts out of a box, and says children could do their jobs. We could have our child do it. That's a quote from him. But really, things heated up after the UAW responded to Trump's comments and challenged him to get on the line. If the work is so easy, just do it.
Hi, my name is Donya Ferdinandson with UAW Local 14 of Toledo, Ohio. I am an 18-year UAW member in good standing. I'm making this video in response to Trump's statement that auto workers just assemble parts out of a box. I challenge you, Trump, to one full 12-hour day in any auto assembly plant. I want to see you assemble parts out of a box for 12 hours. Until you accept and complete this challenge, until you actually work a manual labor job, you keep the name of the UAW out of your mouth. Solidarity, y'all.
Oh my goodness, that was incredible. You know, Trump is the definition of a Nepo baby, which is, I guess, fine if you just accept what that means, you know, that he has never actually done a day of hard labor in his entire life. He only has ever worked for the Trump organization. He's not going to work 12 hours. He doesn't even know what that means. He can't even like wrap his head around that, but he is seemingly willing to give another job a go. He's going to be a fry cook at a McDonald's, maybe. This is according to CNN's Kristen Holm. She said former President Donald Trump is expected to visit a McDonald's Sunday in Pennsylvania and work the fry cooker. A source familiar with the matter tells CNN this comes up as Trump has repeatedly claimed Vice President Kamala Harris never actually worked at McDonald's. Okay, the Trump and the Harris camps have recently been at war over Harris's assertion that she worked at McDonald's while she was in college. Why? Like, who cares about any of this so much? Trump has called the story fake, claiming that Harris never worked at the chain based off of nothing, of course. But for some reason, he did offer to work at McDonald's to really stick it to Kamala, I guess. I don't see how it would. I can't imagine that she cares about any of this. He initially made these claims last month at a rally in Indiana, saying, quote, I'm going to go to a McDonald's and I'm going to work the French fry job for about half an hour. I want to see how it is. Okay. Going to work the French fry job. According to The Independent, Trump's campaign has allegedly spent $31,000 at Mickey D's in the last few months. So we already know that he is a big, big fan of them. He also likes to eat at McDonald's because he thinks that he won't get poisoned if he eats fast food, which, the logic is not completely unsound there. But the minutes long shift, 30 minutes, he said, would prove that he's worked longer and harder at McDonald's than Kamala Harris, because that's really going to show her, right? Sharon, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, my thoughts are to that McDonald's in Pennsylvania, beware, he'll eat up all the profits on the fry machine and the Diet Coke. They'll run out. No more syrup. Let me tell you something.
The McFlurry machine?
He's never worked. Forget labor, working with your hands. He has never worked a full shift in his life, not without Diet Coke and people bringing in the Music Man to soothe him. This is corny, ridiculous. He just wants to spend time at McDonald's. And I think it was great that UAW worker proud and strongly called him out, because this is what we're dealing with here. I am, though, in all seriousness, not to sound too much like Michelle Obama, who got in trouble all those years ago on the campaign trail. I am ashamed. I'm actually ashamed that this is still a toss-up, this race, when we are talking about this guy who is clueless, cruel, has some kind of faculty issue, diminished capacity, has threatened all of us. He threatened all of us, including the people who are going to his rallies and dropping like flies because it's so damn hot in there, okay? And in the previous run, remember, we lost people like Herman Cain because of Trump's insistence on not wearing masks and the thing. So he is who we thought he is, okay? It reminds me of Herman Edwards. The Bears are who we thought they are. We let them off the hook, okay? I don't know why we're still allowing this guy to suck up oxygen that good people could be breathing. That's how sick it is. We need to take a look at ourselves, America. Look at your life and not this buffoon. He's going to eat up all the profits. McDonald's, Pennsylvania.
Sharon, it was Denny Green. We let him off the hook.
Oh,
I got
Denny
you.
Green.
But
remember those great Coors Lights commercials? Oh, that was great.
Oh, yeah.
I love those. But you're right. Sorry, Herman.
No,
but you got the point, JR.
I did. I didn't want you to get flamed in the comments because they come for you for these little things. But no, what you're saying leads directly to what I was thinking. Why do we give a damn what Donald Trump says about what anybody does in the assembly line at an auto workers plant? What the hell does he know about that? Why do we think he has anything to say about that anybody should listen to? They already gave him the businessman thing, which was obvious. He's failed at that so many times that we can't even count anymore. Why do we care what he says about what they do at an assembly plant when he's never stepped his foot in one? Why do we keep doing this? Because this race is this close, because it has nothing to do with what he knows, what he does, and what he can do, because none of those things are very good. It's about trying to support someone that is fed enough of your bigotry that you feel like you live through him as this leader that's willing to rule with an iron fist. It's the only reason that this is even close in this way. We had previous presidential and vice presidential candidates who destroyed their entire run. Mitt Romney damn near lost because he said binders full of women. That was a scandal. Think about the difference between him saying binders full of women.
Who yelled and that was it. And that was the end of his.
Howard Dean.
Howard Dean.
Thank you.
Small things. Dan Quayle couldn't spell potato or something like that. Michael Dukakis wore the stupid helmet in the tank. These things disqualified folks. Think of the hundreds of thousands of things Donald Trump has done that has not disqualified him yet. That's an indictment on us, not him.
Thank you. That part.
Yeah, we've just been so incredibly desensitized to everything that he says and does that, somebody who, stands up on a rally platform, he's supposed to be doing some kind of town hall. Instead, he just listens to music for 40 minutes. And that's not
that would have killed somebody.
Like that alone is so crazy. Like, I don't understand. I don't know what's going on in this country. Maybe someone can explain it. I mean, I have an idea. I obviously have an idea, but I'm just so incredulous about it all.
Thanks for watching. If you become a member, you get to watch all this ad-free, except for, of course, this ad. Still, hit the join button below.